Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7, DIY Mixers crew. Today we talk Nick salts and we have a special guest mixer today, Germ. What's up, Germ? How you doing today, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, man?
All right,
Hi.
we got a lot of good stuff going on today. Real quick, I'll blow through this. I know I go through it every week for you guys, but make sure you check us out on Facebook, Discord. Make sure you check out Liquid Barn at Liquid Barn, www.liquidbarn.com. Get yourself a 15% off discount when you use Mixers Crew, MIXERS CREW, for 15% off your total order. And you get free shipping over $50. Also, check out Pool City Vapes at www.poolcityvapes.com. Get 6% off when you use the code DMC6. They got lightning fast shipping, and I tell you what, guys, I use
absolutely.
that
2 days.
that all the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Always 2 days.
2
Me
days.
too, 2 days.
I tell you what, I placed an order. What day was it? I think it was Friday. I think it's coming tomorrow on Monday, so you can't beat that. And I placed it at like, I don't know, maybe 10 o'clock at night or something like that. I got a few flavors that Slasho recommended, a couple other good flavors coming in, some re-ups. I got some nicotine coming in next week from Liquid Barn. I'm excited. So today we're talking about Nick salts and stuff like that. I don't know who's going to start today. Tam, you going to start today, Tam? Or are we going to go with Folkart or Lewis? You got anything for us before we get going?
Hi everyone. Maybe Tim can start.
Oh, I always get to start. I'm so excited. So interesting. We've had a lot of people ask about Nick salts, and I see it asked about everywhere, and not just on our Discord or what have you. I see about it asked about in all different places, on Facebook pages. People ask me personally when I'm out about what I think about them, and so I have, over the past few months, myself done a lot of research on it, because I'm the kind of person that if it's out there, I want to know about it, because do I need it? Do I want it? And if it's something new, I might need to get it. So, of course, I did get some. And I realized really quick it's not really for me, but I will go over what they are and I'll tell you why it's not for me personally, but it could be for you, or it could be for someone else that you know. So Nick salts is something that has been out for a while, but they've just become readily available more for a consumer. And it's a different version of nicotine that's been formed into a salt version. But when I first thought about, I'm getting Nick salts, I'm going to get a bag of salt, and it's not how it comes at all. It's actually already dissolved into either a PG or a VG solution, just like your regular free-base nicotine is. And that's how we refer to what the nicotine we normally use is free-base nicotine. So this nicotine's called Nick salt, but it's already dissolved into a PG or VG version, and you can choose how you want to get it. And you can still get it like either 100 milligram, 50, 75, however, just like you get your normal free-base nicotine. Anyway, so I got mine, and I didn't get the bag of salt. I just got a jar of liquid, and you need to store it the same exact way you would your regular nicotine, and you measure it the same exact way you would your regular nicotine in your recipes. So if it calls for, I don't know, usually I use 2% nicotine in my e-juice, and if I'm making a 30 ml, it's usually 0.67 grams. I know this because I've done it like 3 times this week in the past 2 days. And so I would use the same exact amount of the Nick salts as I would the free-base nicotine. So there's no difference in how you measure it or how you use it. But the difference is how it works in your body, how it works in your system, how your body absorbs that nicotine. That is what's different. The throat hit is very different. It's a lot smoother, where as if you were to make a juice and you had it at 6% nicotine, the throat hit is going to be pretty harsh if you're using a sub-ohm tank, or if you're using a dripper, or what have you. That's going to, you would really need to use a mouth to lung device to really do a 6%, 9%, or even higher nicotine, and be able to do it comfortably. So what these Nick salts do is that you get a really smooth throat hit with these. The way that's how, however that they're formulated, that's just what they do. They're very smooth, and it's a higher concentrate. So when your body gets this, it is absorbed immediately into your body, this nicotine. Whereas the free-base nicotine, it takes a while for that nicotine, for you to get that nicotine high. It's going to take you like a few, not a few puffs, but like a while of vaping to really get that nicotine high. Is that a good way to say it? Nicotine high? It sounds like we're doing drugs.
So you not have to vape as much?
Yeah, no, you really shouldn't have to vape as much. And I'll give you an example in just a minute of what this one dude said. So it depends on how you vape and how you enjoy vaping. Let's say, for example, but no, you really shouldn't have to vape as much. And you have to be careful with them, because if you are like me and you're a chain vapor,
You probably get sick, right?
yeah, you could get a really bad nicotine headache, nicotine high, nicotine sick very quick on these nicotine salts. And that would not be good to do that consistently. So you have to really, really be careful with these. And that's why they say do not use them in high wattage devices. Like anything over like 45, 60 watts, you really should not use nic salts, because you're really not, you really don't know how much nicotine then you're really going to be absorbing in your system, and you're going to be like, whoa.
Sweating.
Yeah. And you're going to get a headache and be woozy. And so that's why they recommend, if you do want to try them, that you start out using it like in one of those, either a mouth to lung tank to see how it affects you and how you react to this and how much you can take. And then also, or one of those pod systems, like they have the penguins.
Like the Juul
and
type thing.
the Juul things, yes, those are really great to use them. So when I think of what these would be really good for, let's say someone who is a worker and they have to take a smoke break, they can't vape at their desk all day, and they go take a smoke break. Maybe they need that nicotine fix. These might be really good for those kind of people, to get that nicotine fix. But yet, and they're getting it, but yet they just can't sit around and vape all day to keep their nicotine fix, but they can go get it from just 2 or 3 hits off a Juul pod or something like that. But that's just kind of for it. But one guy that has used it, he has a 20 milligram.
Whew.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, you know what? I take that back, because when I actually first started vaping,
yeah, they recommend people at 18 milligrams sometimes to come off of.
I was vaping 24, and that was
exactly.
That was in a sub-ohm tank.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
whoa,
and that's harsh.
Yeah, it was like a point. I think it was a 0.2 or a 0.3, maybe sub-ohm. It was a tank. It was the geez, I can't even remember what tank it was. It was the Hercules tank.
But think about normally when you vape, how many like a 30 milligram bottle, if that's all you did all day was this one, you would do 30 mil a day. That's what I'm thinking. I can do a 30 mil a day. This guy said he can take, if he has this 20 milligram nic salts in his tank, he gets with that nicotine salts, that 20 milligram in that 30 milliliter bottle will last him 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
because
I'm like, that's not fun for me.
Well,
because he don't, and that's because he gets his nicotine fix and doesn't have to vape as often.
Right, that's the thing is, so if you want to save on juice and you're not into, like, you're not a chain vapor, or you, like I said, want to save on your juice consumption, and
it
that's
sounds
a
like
good
it'd be
way
good
to
for
go.
a skunk.
do you real quick, Folkert, I don't mean to interrupt the show. Do you have a personal link for Daddy Kane, for him to join the Skype, or not Skype?
I have invited him about 7 times. He doesn't have the software on his computer. So.
Oh, well, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, he has to have Zoom running. Sorry, folks. This is our first time using this new program, Zoom. We've gotten away from Skype, and I hope that it will be a better video and audio quality for everybody
Let me see if
that's
there's
watching.
any questions.
So, this is our test.
He said it was asking for a meeting ID. I don't know if he can join that way or not.
I'll try.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Tam. If you have anything else on Nick salts.
No, not really. I'm going to put it in a summary for everybody. And if you have any other questions, shoot it in the Discord or either on Facebook on our page, and I can try to help answer it. Do you guys have any questions?
No,
that was real quick.
I mean, I can comment on them. I have used, well, I guess it depends. There's a few companies out there that do make the Nick salts, and I heard.
Yeah, there's a few that do it. Yes.
Yeah, I heard you mention that they just come in the soluble form. I'm not sure if you can buy them in the powdered form or not. Mix them yourself yet?
No,
because I didn't really do the research on them. I don't know. But I have used. I think it was Nude Nick. I've used their nicotine salt milligram and the vegetable glycerin. Now I know Nude Nick. They offer 2 different versions. You can either get their smooth. There's like 2 other ones that you.
Yeah, they have a couple of different hits, which might be a good thing considering you might want to. That's the whole thing is you need to, if you're going to use them, you need to know how it's going to affect you before you start chain vaping. Yeah,
I got the smooth from them, and I got it in the vegetable glycerin, 100 milligram vegetable glycerin, and I have mixed with those. I've tried them, and you're correct on your research when you said that as far as the head rush on what you get. A lot of people get the misconception when they're using Nick salts. They think that you have to mix them differently. And I've heard a lot of people like out in the community saying, do I have to mix them at the same weight? Do I have to mix them at the same milliliters that I would mix my regular freebase at? And from the research that I have done when I mixed with them, which probably, I don't know, I'd say 3-4 months ago, you just use them like you would
just regular freebase nicotine. Yes,
so
it's the same.
If it calls for, like, I know for 30 mil, you're using a 50-50 blend at 100 milligram nicotine. For 30 mil, you need, I think it's 1.07, I believe, or 1.04, roughly around that area, grams of nicotine of 100 milligram in a mix. And you would mix it the same way. Now, as far as vaping it, when I had vaped it, that nicotine was like, it was like I would say, like, there's not, I mean, I'm not going to go on this route, but the majority of vapors, they just didn't started vaping just to vape, like, because it was cool. A lot of people vape to get off tobacco, whether it's cigarettes, whether it be chewing tobacco, whatever it is. Now, when I tested the Nick salts and I've mixed with the Nick salts, it reminds me of that morning cigarette. Like when you first wake up, you take that hit of that morning cigarette.
And you got that buzz kind of.
Yes, that's exactly what I get from the Nick salt. It absorbs into your body quicker, so you get that nicotine kind of like gives you that Nick rush that you get when you first smoke a cigarette, when you first wake up in the morning with your coffee, or whenever after you brush your teeth, whenever you smoke your first cigarette. And that's the experience that I've gotten from Nick salts. Now, I think that Nick salts would be good for people that are just getting off cigarettes and that are getting introduced into vaping, because you really get that nicotine absorption from those Nick salts rather than freebase. And I think they're a good thing in a way. The only downside as of right now that I can see Nick salts is the expense. Like, they're a little bit more expensive than you would pay for, like, as far as freebase. You know what I mean? I think it's Nude Nicotine. I don't know. I know it's kind of like I'm throwing this out there, folk art. I don't know if you can actually maybe throw a link up. I think Nude Nicotine actually gives out free samples of mix. There's a link somewhere. Maybe we can post it in the Facebook or in the Discord or maybe in the chat later on. I think you just pay for shipping. I think it's like $2.95.
Oh, for the
for a sample?
Yes.
Yeah, for a sample. You get like a 15 mil. I think it's like a 15 mil, maybe 20 mil. I think it might be 50, might even be 10. I can't remember. But you can get a sample of nicotine salts from Nude Nicotine on their website. They have a link that's like solely for that purpose, and you just pay the shipping. I think it comes United States Postal Service for that. And you could try them out, see if you like them. Like I said, I've tried them. I really like, and the good thing about nicotine salts too is if you're like, I know I have a few people that I mix for, and they're really high, not high, but they're in the 12 milligram range of nicotine.
Super spicy.
And they sub them, and they're just getting off cigarettes, or they're like, they switch back from cigarettes back to vaping, and they're at around 12 milligram nicotine. And the thing about with nic salts is you get more predominant flavor from nic salts. It doesn't really hinder that throat hit like that you would get. Like I guess it depends on what company you go with. My only the only place I went to is like Nude Nic. Like I said, they have like a couple different ones. They have the smooth is what the one I got, and it is super smooth. I have made juice for friends that I have put in 12 milligram freebase in, and they get that real heavy throat hit. Now, when I put that Nude Nic nicotine salts at 12 milligram, straight flavor. I mean, they get flavor all day. They don't get that really harsh throat hit from it. I could see that good and bad, because like when people do smoke, they really do want that throat hit in the center of their throat,
right,
from smoking cigarettes. And that's one of the things that for me personally, when I first started vaping, it was hard for me to adjust to vaping, because I wasn't getting that, that real strong throat hit. And that's why I vaped such high milligram nicotine, because I would get that throat hit from 24 milligram nicotine when I would sub them on a tank. You know what I mean? But I, fortunately, and thank God that I gradually stepped down. I'm at a 3 milligram right now. But I think as far as like the head rush, and to get that true flavor of a recipe, nicotine salts is the way to go as far as mixing if you're a really high nicotine. And like Cam said, you don't really have to get that rush that you need. And if you're not like a chain vapor, you get that satisfaction of that nicotine, you know what I mean? And then it'll, you know what I mean? It'll add itself. Like you'll get that satisfaction that you need. Russ, you're here.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? Nice to see you.
All right.
All right. So moving on, I don't know if you guys have anything else that you want to talk about going forward.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Sorry.
That's okay. We're at about like 10 to 5. We still got a good, half hour, 40 minutes to go. Real quick, before we decide to move on, me and Folk Art talked earlier today, and we were at 79 subs on the YouTube. We actually are at 81, I believe, 81 subs, which is great.
Awesome. We
keep adding week by week, and I'm telling you, folks, once we hit that 100 mark, man, you talk to your people out there, your fellow vapors. Once we hit 100, we're going to have a nice giveaway for you guys. Maybe a couple 501 scales, some flavor concentrates. And the big one's going to come at 1,000, man. And I'm sure a lot of you guys that have been watching, what's coming at 1,000. We got hashtag Polybox. He's a custom modder. He's going to throw out a custom mod for you guys any way you want it. You can have an X, and seed, whatever. We're going to throw that out once we hit 1,000 subs. I'm hoping once we get around Christmas time, Thanksgiving, I know it's a large hurdle, but once we hit maybe Christmas or Thanksgiving, I'm hoping we hit that hurdle and we can get that out to one of you special viewers out there for us. But moving on, Folk Art, you have anything you want to talk about? You working on anything? Lewis, you working on anything right now? Tam?
I'm actually reworking my pecan pie.
No, don't start there. You're making me feel bad now. I mean, it's a good.
No,
I didn't give it a bad review, bro. I thought it was good.
No, I was just, you know, I took your
I liked
advice.
it.
I took your advice, and I agree with you that that it wasn't buttery enough, and it wasn't, it didn't have that grittiness, that brown sugar grittiness to it. So I thought I'd try my hand at it again, and it's not there yet. It's better. It does have that buttery note to it. But as soon as I get it ready, I'll release it. But I have been doing some more Wonder flavor tests. I've only got 2 to talk about today, though. The first one is Caramel Rice Krispie Treats. I don't know if y'all can see that or not.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, Caramel Rice Krispie Treats. Let me pull up my notes here. I can't remember anything. I have to write everything down. Okay, so the Caramel Rice Krispie Treats, it's got a toasted marshmallow. That's the first thing that I get off of this flavor. And it has a like a frosted flakes, kind of like a Rice Krispie. I didn't really get Rice Krispie. It's more like a frosted flake, so it does have texture to it. It's got like a sugary, you can taste that sugary frosting on it. And there's a slight hint of chocolate or caramel in it as well. That's pretty good. But what's surprising about it is that it also has like almost a pie crust flavor to it as well. And when I was vaping it, the first thing that popped in my head, boy, this would make a really good pie crust for a pumpkin pie, because it has just a hint of just very slight nutmeg, or at least that's what I get from it. But it's got a texture to it that reminds me of a pie crust, a pumpkin pie crust. So I'm gonna give that a try in the fall, if I can find a good pumpkin. I tried Capella's pumpkin spice yesterday. No,
Not good.
No, it tastes like you're chewing on a pine tree root.
This is not. Oh.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's really
so
bad.
terrible.
It's really bad. So,
did you guys? What percentage did you guys use in that?
On the pumpkin
spice.
I don't remember. It was like
Give Flavora pumpkin spice.
Yeah, I heard it was better, and also
yes,
Hanson pumpkin pie filling. I think it is.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's just like straight pumpkin. There's no spice in it. So I'm gonna try to go with Hanson and maybe Flavora.
That sounds really good, actually.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for a good pumpkin.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give those a try.
Hey, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you. Are you lagging at all in live, like on YouTube?
Maybe just a little bit, but not too bad. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Not much we can do about it though. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. Like I said, we're using a new format this week, so. Yeah, you know, we're just trying to provide a better video quality and for you guys out there that are watching. So we're still working out the bugs a little bit on Zoom. We get better and better every week. So hopefully next week, you know, we won't have these issues and stuff like that. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Falk. I didn't mean to.
That's all right. I was just going to mention the Caramel Rice Krispie Treat from Wonder Flavors. I mixed 2%. I'm sorry, 6%. That's what's recommended, from 6 to 9%, and that's normally where I started at. So that was at 6%. It's really a good flavor. I gave it 4 stars. So anyway, whatever that's worth. Okay, so the second concentrate is a Wonder Flavor concentrate. It's a super concentrate. It's butter tart. Butter tart. Now, I've never had a butter tart. Have any of y'all ever had a butter tart?
No. Not once.
No. What? No. Okay.
I never had.
Okay.
I never have.
I haven't either. So
I don't even know what that is.
I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, I don't either. So that's why I was asking now. So, you know, in my mind, okay, this sounds like a really strange flavor. You got butter, and then you got tart. I was thinking like a Smarties covered in butter or something. But that's not what it is at all. It's actually, what I get is a buttery chocolate with some cakey texture to it. It's almost like a chocolate cake.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a bit musty, like most chocolate cakes can be, but it's a pretty good flavoring. Let's see, what are my other notes here? It's kind of a medium sweetness to it, and it's dry. It's not very moist, but it's still a pretty good flavor. It kind of surprised me because I was expecting some kind of weird butter flavored Smarties, but it's actually like a buttery chocolate cake. You could almost make a brownie out of it. I think it would work really well, and I mixed it up at 2%. That's what's recommended on the super concentrates, 2 to 4%. So there's the two that I tested out this week. I'll be posting those sometime in the next week or so on the website and the Facebook page. So just check it out, and I'll be posting more in the next few weeks as well. That's really all I got to talk about today, guys.
Awesome.
Okay. What about you, Lewis? You working on anything right now?
Well, for the recipe development sake, yes, I am. I am working on 3 projects right now, but they are still in development. I've been talking about passion fruit lemonade, a blueberry crumble, and the tea, a floral tea. That's the things that I've been working on. But I wanted to talk about something else. Quite exciting news that Inakin is bringing a new, they claim, unique battery technology. And they are showing that on ACC California, and they claim that the charge must faster, about 100 times faster than the technology that we use on our daily basis, and it has more capacity, so it's a lot stronger, and above all, they claim it's much safer than the usual 18650s that we usually use.
Interesting.
Claim that the battery is able to handle a high volume of power transfer, both in the charging and in the normal working. And it has a unique built cell structure, and it has a unique chemical, advanced chemical within the cells, making them much safer and making them much safer to use in sustained high power applications. So what I wanted to say is, you must know, you probably know that for the past few years, many companies or in the car industry and on smartphone industry, they claim to have big advances in battery technology, but nothing really new or really innovative came up. So let's stay tuned to what Inakin is coming up with, and if it's good, okay, we'll be here to test it.
You know what's really cool is that the batteries that we use for all of our devices were not designed. I mean, they were not specifically designed for vaping mods. They were designed for something else.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and it's nice to see that
flashlights.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Anakin is actually making these batteries for our devices, so that way they maybe they can be designed more more safe and they be used for the intended purpose that they were made for.
Right.
Let's hope that. Including LG stated that they don't want their batteries being used in vaping industry.
Right.
So because there are, I think that there have been some lawsuits against LG, and they are discarding every responsibility as far as using their batteries. So that's great news that Anakin is thinking about this and thinking about our safety. That of course is very important, and I hopefully we stop seeing those footages of people burning their trousers and losing their teeth over batteries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, LG probably doesn't want their things considered a tobacco product too. That's probably part of their issue is that in the industry is they don't want to be an ends product. Because if that's the case, then they've got to deal with that.
But I wonder how in hell can a battery be considered a tobacco product?
Just like this mod is. It doesn't have tobacco in it, but yet it's used for the consumption of nicotine.
Only in the US of A.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've actually seen
we have that in Europe. We have that in Europe too. We have that in Europe too.
Germ, go ahead. You had something to say?
Oh yeah. Someone came in. I work at a vape shop, and someone came in with a new LG, one of the brown ones, and it actually has a warning on it where it says that they're not intended to be used in e-cigarettes. I thought it was a fake battery.
Crazy.
So Jeremy, since you're on with us today, with special thanks for you coming on today. Sharing everything like that.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into mixing and why you started the vape stuff like that.
Well, I first started mix about 1.5 years ago, probably, and I was sharing e-juice with one of my ex-girlfriends, and I was like, there's got to be a better way to do this. Like, it shouldn't be so expensive. So honestly, I went on YouTube and looked up DIY e-juice and saw one of Wayne's videos, and I was like, okay, so it's not that hard. And I just Googled some recipes, went from there, and now I have all these extracts and all this juice made, and it's a little ridiculous.
You go down the rabbit hole, and there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what are your what are your go-tos? Like, what do you like to vape? Like, do you like to vape? Are you a fruit guy? You like?
I like bakeries, custards, bakeries, creams. I'm not a big on fruit, but right now I'm on a really big candy kick. I had this. It's called Watermelon Fiesta.
I saw you on a candy kick. Yeah.
It tastes just like watermelon Sour Patch Kids, and
now
I'm obsessed.
Is that something that you created, or is that like a juice that?
It's a premium juice.
What's it called?
Watermelon Fiesta.
Is there any way you can look that up, Folkart? Maybe we could take a look at that while I'm getting up his recipe.
I'm sorry. What was that? What was that?
Look up the recipe that he's talking. It was a Sour Patch.
Sour Patch.
It's a premium e-juice.
Yeah.
But you work in a vape shop, you said. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm just losing. I for some reason, I don't know if it's my internet or something like that. I'm running really slow for some reason. I don't know why. So I kind of lost the chat.
Me too.
Yeah.
You guys are in the chat. I apologize.
I got the chat.
You got the chat. What's going on? Like, we losing?
Yeah, it's going in and out, guys. I mean, it's just making its rounds.
What's that?
It's just making its rounds. That's all.
Who is?
This lag is just going around in circles. I've actually got the video turned off, the video feed for the YouTube turned off. I'm just looking at straight chat, listening to you guys right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. So I apologize for that. Like, Ross, or I'm sorry, Folk Art. What's it like on your end?
The stream on YouTube looks pretty laggy, but
Does it?
the people in the chat are saying that it's okay. So I mean, it's
Okay.
a little laggy, but okay. So
it might be our own internet connection.
I don't know about this.
Yeah,
Really
it could be that we have 6 people on. I don't know.
That might be what it is too.
Yeah. Because I was thinking that last week. Because normally it's like the last couple times we won't have 4 people,
Mm-hmm.
and then last weekend we had 5, and then this week we got 6. So I know I got dropped last week. I couldn't even get back on, but a lot of that has to do with my computer. But,
Okay. All right.
Jeremy, was that Sour Patches by Crucial?
No, it's a premium juice
Oh, okay.
called Watermelon Fiesta.
it's Watermelon Fiesta.
Looks like the box looks like a pinata donkey. It's really good. Like normally I'm not huge on premium juices, but like whew, I vaped that. It was like 100 ml. I vaped it in like 3 days.
Wow.
Have you ever had that one that's supposed to taste like the fruit roll-up? I think what do they call it, roll-up juice or something like that?
No, because when that came out, I didn't even care for like candy or like fruit at all. It's like just this summer where I just started to like branch off away from like bakeries and custards and stuff.
Isn't that interesting how you evolve in your mixing style and your vaping style, or like not really evolve, but you like branch out and try different things that you never would have when you start mixing?
Yeah, I eat a lot of different food now that I started mixing too.
Me too,
Yeah.
exactly.
You catch me eating half the vegetables I eat now.
Hey, Jeremy, is that by Pop Clouds?
I have no idea who it's by.
Yeah, I've got it up here. It's Watermelon Fiesta by Pop Clouds. I've got it up on the screen here to let people see, and it's like $22 for how many? What is that?
Ouch.
Looks like I don't know, maybe 60 mils. No, 100 milliliter. That's not too bad.
That ain't too bad for 100 mil.
Yeah.
Shoot, I paid like 35.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, but how much can you make it for? Way cheaper than that.
Oh yeah.
I've been trying. Trust me.
What, $1?
Yeah, maybe. But then once you go through all the concentrates to try to make it and get it down, it's going to cost you a little bit, but
That's right.
it's worth it. The satisfaction.
Yeah.
So Tam, did you get any new mods or anything like that over the past couple of weeks?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Funny you should ask. Actually, I did like splurge, and it wasn't a big splurge. It was actually a small splurge. But this was like, it ended up being like $32 on Vapor DNA, and it's from Ohm. I was just talking about them. What is the name of their company? Ohm. You know who I'm talking about? They make the Ohm wrecker.
Okay.
No.
This is called Ohm Slice.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's an Ohm Slice, and it's 101 watts is what it goes to. But it's totally cool because it will temperature control can thaw.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
you
to
can
know
do
what
that.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, only this is like one of the only their board, and mostly the company, they sell their boards to other modders to put in. That's why I was asking what was going in your mod, David, but we'll find out later.
I know.
But it's really cool. I just got it in yesterday, and it takes a big battery, the
26.
26650. So, and it's pretty cool. I was worried about it because I'm like, is it going to fit in my battery charger? And it does. It fits right in my 18650 battery charger. But the battery door is really heavy duty magnet, and it just like fits in there. So
cool.
And it's so I mean, I put it in this morning and it's not even halfway. But I don't go over 100 watts anyway. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
But does the temperature control on Cantal, does it really work?
They say it. I haven't tried it. They say that once you put it on and you get it fixed and you take the mod off, you have to reset it again. So, but I don't really, I don't use a lot of Canthal, but they say the temperature control in this circuit board, or whatever you want to call it, is just as good as a DNA. That even Phil Pissardo, however you say his name, was even like, this is right on with the DNA. The temperature control for like stainless steel and all the other things, titanium, all of that other things, it's the temperature control spot on.
What's the name again?
It's called Ohm. Oh my gosh, what's the name of the company? But this is called an Ohm Slice. OHM.
OHM or HOHM?
HOHM.
Yeah.
HOHM, and they also sell like bigger mods that are higher wattage, but they sell one that most people know that's Ohm Wrecker, and I don't know, there's a couple others, but this one's called Ohm Slice, and they retail on their website for $64, and this is the limited edition, which you can recharge it with a 3.0 amp charger in the wall, which I don't really, that's why I got 2 batteries instead of 1, because like most people, I don't charge with my USB. I charge in the battery charger, but it retails for like $64, but on Vapor DNA they're on sale for $34.99. But if you put in something 10, like you sign up for a newsletter, you get 10% off. So it was like $32. And I was like, I need another small, like I need it like a hole in my head. But I wanted another really good temperature control mod to for flavor testing for some of my drippers and stuff, for when I'm doing flavor testings and stuff at home. And so I was like, I'm gonna grab it for $32. And on another site that I follow on Facebook, one of the guys had bought it and he really, really loved it and said it was awesome. And so I was like, I'm going to go get it. And I was going to go buy it last week and they were out of stock. And then I just went on there Thursday and they were back in stock. And I'm like, I'm grabbing it. And so I just got it Saturday. That's how quick they shipped it. Cool. And while I was there, they had extra doors for my Squonker, and I got a cool one that's like, it's got like a Buddha flower on it.
Sweet.
My VT inbox, yeah, isn't that nice looking? With my gold.
I finally got an update to my.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to my Squonk box, the VT inbox. It's actually here, but it's at the post office. My wife they couldn't deliver it to our mailbox for some reason. And my wife they put a piece of paper in the mailbox saying that I'd have to come pick it up. And she forgot to tell me like 4 days ago. So it's sitting at the post office.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was about to strangle her. Like, why didn't you tell me? I've been waiting for that for a month.
I was like, that is almost. That is.
Is that the one?
I thought it was in the Netherlands, actually.
I know.
Those are very bad news, because as it was in Netherlands, as it was much closer to me, I thought that you would giving it to me.
Yeah.
Folker, I felt so bad. I was going to send you my other one. I was like, I'm just going to send this to him. I felt so bad.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll get it tomorrow, hopefully. So.
I'm so excited for you though now, because that's like a big thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I guess
so. That's all I have new.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to mixing, so we can wrap it up today. Sorry if it was kind of sketchy today. Like I said, we're trying to use a new platform for you guys, trying to, get a little better video quality and stuff like that. We'll work out the bugs eventually, so I apologize for that. So basically, we're going to be mixing. I don't know if you want to throw that up there, full cart. We're going to be mixing a Trapstachio from Germ.
Hey.
So it's got a lot of good flavors in it. If you want to talk a little bit about it, Germ, while he throws this up there, I don't know if you could split the screen if you want to put Jeremy up there when we're mixing this.
Germ.
Talk a little bit about it as I'm going.
Same difference.
Okay.
I have to pick it, David.
What's that, Tim?
I said I have to pick on you or else it's not fun.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Why? What'd I do now?
Oh, nothing. I said his name's Germ, not Jeremy.
Germ, Jeremy, Germ. Germs.
We're just joking, so go ahead. David's trying to be all serious, and I'm poking at him. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Germ, where did you come up with the idea for this?
I was actually, it was like a spot on type of thing. I was about to go to work and I had no juice and I had no sweetener. So like the original recipe has no sweetener at all. That's why there's so much marshmallow. And I was like scrimping together everything I had, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw this together because we have this pistachio ice cream at the place I used to work. It's called Burn Dairy. They sell like ice cream and stuff, and I had that. And I was like, okay, I want to make a pistachio ice cream. And I kind of just whipped it together and brought it to work with me, and I was like, wow, this is really good. So the only reason I add the marzipan is because I had it because I ordered the recipe pack for the dogma recipe, and I was like, what am I supposed to use this marzipan for? I don't even know what marzipan is really. And it turned out really good, like really, really good.
Good deal.
The only question, I don't know if it's gonna flip back and forth camera wise when I'm talking.
Yeah, it will.
I looked at your recipe. It's not bad, but my only concern is with a few of the concentrates that are in here, Germ. Kind of high.
I used to mix at like max VG. That's how when I originally made the recipe. So I couldn't taste anything unless I made 20% of flavor.
Okay. You couldn't taste any of the flavor, you said.
Yeah, unless I mixed it that high.
David, can you get a little bit closer to your mic?
Yeah, hold on. I'll just put my mic over here. I could turn it up a little bit, but was that better or no? Not really.
Yeah.
It's better, much better.
Sorry about that. So you were saying you were doing it at max VG.
Yeah.
In the recipe that you have 20% flavor, so you were vaping it at a 80-20, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. And your sweet spot now is at a 70-30.
Yeah, because I switched more like tank. I have a reload, so I use that. I either mix at like 70-30 or 65-35. And you get way better flavor.
So, Germ, I was going through your recipes on all the flavors, and this looks like one of the first recipes you created. Is that, or that you posted? Is that correct?
Yeah, I have about 11 pages of recipes on ELR that are all private. Yeah, I don't know. My friend Chris, there's a guy named Chris Conrad I'm friends with. He's like, yeah, you should really get all the flavors. It's better. So I was like, all right, how do I do that? So he sent me the link to all the flavors, and I signed up, and I pay for it. So
yeah,
I like it a lot better.
Yeah,
it's a lot better for me.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I like it better than ELR myself.
Now,
go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
First, the pistachio. What was the reasoning behind you using TFT?
David, we can barely hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Okay, let me turn up my mic a little bit. I apologize, guys. That's this new program we're using. Hold on 1 second. Let me get my audio microphone. microphone. It's up a little bit. How's that? Any better? Not
Yeah,
really?
it's better.
Yeah.
So, what was the reasoning behind you using a TFA or TPA pistachio versus like flavor art, for instance? Like,
I've never had flavor art, and I'd never had TFA at the time. So I ordered a 10 mil, and I just had it laying around, and I never used it. So I threw it in there.
Okay. The RY4 double, what was the reasoning for you bringing that to the table on that?
I also had that, like a whole 30 mil of it laying around that I never used. I didn't know what to use it for.
What, the RY4 double?
Yeah.
Yeah, RY4 double, and I'm sure that the other mixers in our group can contest to. I really don't consider, I mean, I guess a very subtle tad. Would I consider an RY4 tobacco?
Right.
That's what I was worried about. I was worried about it was going to be too tobacco-y.
No.
Yeah, more brown sugar, vanilla.
Right.
Adds to a recipe, but it's not like a tobacco flavor. Yeah,
I love it.
The only two things that I'm worried about in this recipe, the funnel cake, you got at 1.5%, which is Capella, which is not too bad. Marshmallow, you got at 4%, which is kind of high for me. Like if I was to mix a recipe, if I was to balance out the other ingredients.
Yeah. I was trying to get like some sweet. I had no sweetener.
You got to look at with the Flavor Apprentice marshmallow, and then with you using the Capella Super Sweet at 1%. Those two combined, that's pretty high in sweetener. So you're going to get that muting of the other flavors, especially with the Super Sweet being.
So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. When you published the recipe, you said when you first made it, you didn't have sweetener in it. Yeah. Why did you add the sweetener to it then when you published it?
Because I add sweetener. That's what I add. How much sweetener I add to everything.
Okay, but okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, like what I'm saying though is if you look at the Super Sweet and the marshmallow. Now, let's see here.
Some people use marshmallow as a sweetener because it is so sweet.
That's why I was asking. It is.
I don't really get the sweet notes off it.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a sweetener. I mean, it's marshmallow, but some people do use that as a sweet. The Super Sweet.
It depends.
I do.
Yeah.
Depends on how high you use it, though.
Yeah. You
can use
the
it
Super Sweet is like really. I mean, they call it Super Sweet for a reason. It is super sweet. You know, some people just like I suppose like a very sweet vape. I have used Super Sweet up to 0.5%. But I'm sure it could be used at 1, depending on the recipe.
Yeah, I've done that a lot though. There's been certain flavors that I use that are profiles that I've used where I've actually gone up to like 1 or 2% on the Super Sweet, just simply because I couldn't taste anything.
Yeah, it's the same problem I have.
Yeah.
And that may be because, you know, and I've recently gone to a 60-40 mix. Because of that, I've been trying to put more PG in there. And I'm actually getting a lot better flavor at 60-40 than I was at 70-30. So I may push that to a 50-50. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure how far I want to take that.
Yeah, I'm just afraid 60-40 like dry my mouth out really bad.
Yeah, I usually don't under 75-25 because once I hit like a 70-30 threshold, I get like dryness from it. So I tend to stay away from the anything lower than 70-30 because of that reason. Like I said, how like you said you've been mixing for about a year and a half?
Yeah.
When was this recipe developed? Like what? Like in your mixing game? Like
the beginning of summer.
The beginning of summer, so it was about 6 months into your mixing.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, my only concern is with some of the high percentages that you have, but then again, it could be, and I'm mixing it to what you had it at, so like I said, my only concern is with the sweetener.
Yeah.
Because the vanilla custard looks good with 3.5%. RY4 double at 3%. That's good. If anybody like a seasoned mixers know that RY4 double can be used anywhere between that what you have and up to about 6%. The marzipan, 0.5%, spot on. That's about right for especially INW marzipan. And the funnel cake at 1.5 isn't bad. I mean, you may could have honestly, looking at this recipe, what I would do is, let me back out of it for a minute just to get your notes. You left notes on this, right? On your recipe and what you were going for?
Probably like 10, 11 words. I'm not really good at writing notes on my recipes.
Oh, that's okay. You were looking for a deep fried pistachio ice cream with caramel notes from the RY4, which I got. You got the deep fried ice cream with the caramel notes. Okay, with the funnel cake, you got the deep fried there at 1.5%, which is that's about fine. Like I said, the marzipan is right. RY4, I would say, is about on point. Vanilla custard is about on point. My only thing is, if you were going for a deep fried ice cream, you do get vanilla accents, I guess, a little bit subtle vanilla accents from. Here, let me switch cameras here. You do get vanilla accents from RY4. My thing is, if you were going for a deep fried ice cream, how comes that you didn't go for? Because I've seen a few other your recipes that you were using vanilla bean ice cream from Liquid Barn, which has to be used at high percentages.
Super
so
high.
If you were going for a fried ice cream, how comes you didn't have any type of ice cream flavoring in your recipe? I mean, I'm assuming that
I didn't have it.
Oh, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that you. I mean, you could probably get that from custard, but you're not going to get that. You're going to get that more eggy type, rendition from it. Then you're going to get from like a vanilla bean ice cream, like a TPA vanilla bean ice cream. Or anything like that. But like I said, I didn't vape it yet, so I don't know. Did any of you guys mix this up and vape it?
I actually did mix it up, but I had to substitute 2 flavorings. I didn't have the what was it, TPA pistachio. I had Flavor Art pistachio. And unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of RI4. The only RI4 that I had was Flavor Art. So, but it was you could definitely taste the pistachio in it, but I can't really comment on the recipe that much because I didn't have the right flavors for it.
So how adamant?
If you don't have RY4 double, that's. But I did mix it as well, and I'll tell you what I didn't do. What I did different as when I mixed it, just because I know myself. But I have it in this tank right here, and I'll tell you, I like it. It's tasty, but I did not put the whole % of super sweet in it.
Yeah, with my recipes, you don't have to. I usually try to put that in the description.
Right, because of how much, what is it, marshmallow? Earlier I called it whipped cream, but it's not. It's marshmallow. Because because of the marshmallow that's in it. Because I know that I'll get those like sugar lips, and I put like 0.25% of the super sweet.
How'd that work out for you, Sam?
It worked out good. I mean, I didn't put the whole percent because I knew from experience with myself that I would be like.
Well, that's why I question a few of the concentrates in here with this recipe. Granted, like he said, Germ, you said this was like 6 months into your mixing. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of your newer recipes. And you'll know, like, going forward, when you become a seasoned mixer, that when you're creating recipes, I mean, and I'm just going to throw this out there, you're not just going to, when you release a recipe, like, I look at it as, okay, I'm not just going to use TPA pistachio because that's the only thing I have. I'm not going to use, TPA marshmallow because that's all I have to try to get an ice cream rendition off of what I have. I didn't vape it yet, so I mean, I'm going to let you. And you ask any, like, Folk Art, he's an excellent mixer. He's a mixer. He knows his flavors. I don't hold back. It's shit,
No, he don't,
bro. I mean, I'm going to tell you right off the bat.
He don't pull any punches. That's right.
So, I mean,
Well, that's one purpose of this show, I think, is to get newer mixers on the show, mix the recipes up, and if they need improvement, to give advice. How else is anyone going to learn how to make their recipes better? That's what I want people to do for me. I want them to mix my recipes, not just say, "Oh, it's wonderful, great." I want them to tell me what can I do different. What can I do to make it better the next time? What's your advice? And that's the only way that mixers really can get better at what they do is people mixing them, giving them feedback.
In my palate, I'm telling you what, right now, Germ, my palate is extremely sensitive. So, I can taste
the tongue for you.
In the recipe. And like I said, I'll tell you what the hell happened to my cotton. I'll tell you straight off the bat. It's good or bad. What was the recommended steep on this that you had?
7 days, but I wanted to change it to 2 weeks because of the custard.
Because of the custard?
Yeah, but it was a shake and vape for me. I just went to work, started working.
I see what you mean. So basically, I mean, out of all your recipes that you have posted on ATF, what would be like if you was to rate this yourself, like out of all the recipes?
Very low. I didn't really like it that much. Like, it's good. It was good for the day, but I wasn't huge on it. It's not my favorite recipe.
What would be your favorite recipe out of all the recipes that you mixed? Like one.
Either like the peppermint patty one that I have, or I have a I Love Cookies remix that I did. I really like that one a lot.
Okay.
And then my new Blue Belts one, that one's really good. I've never even had liquid barn raspberry. That stuff's delicious.
I need to try that.
Okay, so I'm using my DNA 200 and using my Raphael. The lowest airflow setting on this, my basic build that I always use. I vape at 4.2 volts, 60 watts, plain Canthal, 6 wraps, 24 gauge. I took a real quick chop on it. Not too bad, but I didn't get a full swig of it yet. And you said you were going for a fried ice cream.
Yeah.
And this. Where's the juice? Honestly, I mean, and I'm going to throw this out there, bro, Germ. It's not toilet water, and it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not the greatest recipe in the world. Like I said, I don't like it that much.
No. Me personally, I'm a pistachio freak. Like, I can go to the store, buy like a 5-pound bag of pistachios, and I can eat them in one sitting. That's how much I love pistachios. Damn. Yeah, I love pistachios. They're just so damn expensive. How expensive were you in Lewis, in Portugal?
How expensive what, sorry?
Pistachios.
You mean the real thing or the vape?
The real thing.
Oh, the real thing they are expensive. They cost maybe 20 euros a kilo, so you could pay about $2.50 for 100 grams. Oh, I wouldn't in pounds. Maybe about $5 for 1 pound.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the lowdown.
If my math is correct.
I'm gonna give you the lowdown on this recipe, bro. And I'm gonna tell you what I think of it. As far as the pistachio, it's there.
It's there.
As far as the fried taste, it's there. Like you said, it has to steep for 7 days, so that custard's going to come out.
Yeah,
a little bit. Now,
easy, Cam.
I know.
There.
Right?
What's that?
You need the corner.
What happened?
Okay. Oh no, I just choked. Hold on.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You'll be all right. Honestly, I was kind of nervous mixing this recipe with the pistachio being so high and the sweetness being so high in it, like with the super sweet 1%. But being how that you were going for max VG and using a super sweet and the marshmallow so high, it's what we call in advanced mixing forced muting. I don't know if you were trying to go for forced muting in a recipe, but with the pistachio being so high, the super sweet being so high, and the marshmallow being so high, force mutes a lot of things in a recipe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that the same as saying diminished return?
Yeah, I predominantly get the fried note, the pistachio, super sweet. Honestly, I don't taste it at 1%, which is really high, which I don't taste that much of the super sweet in here. RY4 double, I really don't get any of the RY4 double. I might get like a faintness of the RY4 double. Vanilla custard's on point.
The RY4 double needs. Sorry, Dave. The RY4 double needs steep.
Yeah, the RY4 double is steep, but I know RY4 double. I know what it tastes like after the steep, and when it's freshly mixed. I mean, you might get a little bit more of the like brown sugar aspect, maybe a little bit of vanilla from it. But honestly, this recipe is, I wouldn't say it's great. It's on a good level. But it needs no, and I'm being totally honest, man. It needs to be there's a few ingredients I think that can be like either toned down and taken out and have like something else put in there. If you're going for like the vanilla ice, like the ice cream, like the vanilla aspect, I don't know what you were going for, because like it just says a deep fried pistachio ice cream with if you want that really rich vanilla flavor, you will get that kind of with the marzipan. It's fine at that percent. I would incorporate maybe some TPA vanilla bean ice cream. I don't know if you get a peppery taste from that. You could probably sub out Capella's vanilla bean ice cream for that. you can put that in there, like either one of those two. The fried ice cream, like the fried aspect of it with the funnel cake is fine. But you also have the, what is it? The joy, right? Am I right?
No,
Flavor of joy.
I don't use joy.
You don't use joy?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, with the fried aspect, right? Am I right, guys? Like with the fried doughy type.
Yeah, I think so.
Doesn't it give like a powdered sugar kind of?
Powdered sugar. You're right. I always get wow and joy mixed up, so it's wow then.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wow. You could probably use the wow and maybe not with the funnel cake. I mean, I'm the only thing I'm missing for this recipe is the vanilla. If you had the deep, rich vanilla aspect in this recipe, I think it would be great because the pistachios there, you know, the fried aspect is there. You get slight caramel notes and that from the RY4 double, but with it steeping for 7 days, you might get that. Like I said, the only thing that I think I would like actually add to this would be the vanilla bean ice cream. I would actually cut down the marshmallow because honestly, with you having a super sweet so high, the vanilla custard at 3.5, it's really muting that marshmallow. It's gonna get lost in the mix with the marshmallow. So you could probably take that down, but I'm assuming that because that's the only thing that you had, that's why you put it in there. You could probably either cut out the marshmallow or maybe go half and then put like a vanilla bean ice cream in there or some type of vanilla, like a Madagascar or some kind of deep, dark vanilla to kind of like meld with the RY4 because an RY4 double is like a deep flavor when used correctly. And if you put some type of like a deep dark vanilla flavor in there, I think it'll really capture that vanilla flavor in that recipe. And I think that's the only thing that you're really missing in it. I'm assuming that the reason, now that I think about it, the only thing that I think that you were trying to capture is you was using that marshmallow incorporated with the vanilla bean custard to kind of come up with the ice cream aspect of it. And I think there's a way around that with not using so much marshmallow, maybe incorporating vanilla bean ice cream and maybe even cutting down a custard a little bit. You could probably get rid of those two ingredients and maybe use a TPA vanilla bean ice cream or Liquid Barn. You have Liquid Barn. You can always mix it and use your Liquid Barn, like maybe get rid of the marshmallow.
Liquid Barn is good.
Yeah,
I'd probably get rid of the marshmallow.
Yeah,
and the
get rid of the marshmallow and the vanilla bean ice cream, because if you get rid of those two ingredients and then you just put that Liquid Barn, because I know that's what you have, because I've seen you use that in a lot of your recipes. If you use that Liquid Barn vanilla bean ice cream in the aspect of that, get rid of those two. Maybe cut down on your super sweet. Maybe if you like that sweetness, you can go a 0.75, maybe a 0.5 aspect of it, because you do get some sweetness from the funnel cake. You get that kind of powdered sugar effect from the funnel cake. You get that deep fried greasiness from the Capella's funnel cake. You could probably have that at 1.5%. Probably rework that. But I think that this is a good foundation for a recipe with the deep fried ice cream, and I think incorporating the pistachio and the RY4 is a good play. Like I said, with what you had, I think it's I would say, like, out of 5 stars, I would give it like maybe a 3.5, maybe a 3.75. But like I said, it was with what you had, and it represents that. But I'm just missing that deep mouthfeel of the ice cream. But like I said, that could come with the steep. You recommended a 7-day steep on that, and that could be, what it's all about. You know what I mean? But it's good. Like, honestly, I could vape this. I mean, it's not.
I've been vaping on it all day.
Yeah,
in
it's
my
not
rotation.
bad. I like the pistachio in it. And with that high percentage, I think it's pretty good. You know what I mean? But in closing, guys, we're kind of running close on time. I apologize to everybody for all the lags that we were having today. We're in the works of using a new platform. We switched from a different platform, so it's going to be more upfront and personal because a lot of you guys either send us PMs or you sent stuff into Facebook or in Discord saying that you wish that when people talk that they could be on the full screen. So we actually just decided to go to a different platform midweek. So we're still working out the bugs on that. So hopefully going forward next week on next week's live show, it'll be a little bit more smoother. Like I said, we're only on episode 7, so we apologize. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, DIY Mixers Crew. Check us out on Discord. I'm sure Tam or Folkart or Lewis or one of you guys can post that in the chat. Make sure you check out Liquid Barn to get your 15% off discount using Mixers Crew. Free shipping over $50, and make sure you check out Bull City Vapes at www.bullcityvapes.com and use code DMC6 to get 6% off your total order. They got super fast shipping. I really want to thank Germ for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Germ.
Thanks, Germ.
Yeah, man, let me review his recipe. It's not bad. It's a good recipe. Make sure you go on all the flavors and check it out today. It's a pistachio fried ice cream. It's pretty decent. Like I would use a few things different, but that was the flavors that he had at the time. And for the flavors that he had at the time, I think that he was pretty much on point on what he was trying to represent in his pistachio, his fried ice cream that he did today. You guys have anything else before we decide to get going?
Just that if anybody's watching and they like the video, smash that subscribe button and that like button for us to try to get us up to at least 100, and we'll start giving away stuff.
Yep. What about you, Tam, Lewis? Anything?
I'm good. I think I
Germ, anything you got for us, buddy?
No, not really.
Yeah, stick around after the show, man. We'll bullshit for a little bit, and we'll talk some about mixing and stuff like that if you want to stick around for a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. Hey, guys. Hey, I really appreciate you guys coming out and sticking with us, man. I know that we're going through some technical difficulties, but like I said, we're learning every day. Next week it just gets better and better and better. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Once we hit 100 subs, man, we're going to give some stuff away for you guys. The big one comes at 1,000. Make sure you check us out on Facebook and Discord. And I guess we're out until next week, guys. Take care.
Thanks. See ya.
See you guys.
Thanks. See you next week.
See ya.